today I am working with some beautiful elements from Jesse James Beads. I'm getting ready to go on a little beach holiday, and what is better than making a nautical sort of ocean inspired adjustable necklace to go over resort wear, even just a t-shirt and shorts, or to dress up a bathing suit cover up. So one of the main things in my project today is going to be this beautiful bead strand called Sailing Stripe in sardine blue. I absolutely love these blown glass beads. Each one is a little bit different. The blue stripes are a little heavier in this one, some a little lighter, and the swirls are just all a little bit different, and they're just absolutely beautiful. I'm also working with this gorgeous seed bead collection. This is called Sailor's Stripe seed beads set in sardine blue, and I've put in a few jump rings in different sizes. Mostly this necklace is going to be silver because I'm going to be using this beautiful chain from Jesse James Beads, and look at that sweet little heart link that's in this chain. I just love it, but I do want to dot my piece with gold. So over here I have some 8/0 seed beads. I have a few spacer beads from the magical little pots left over from magical mystery bead boxes in the past. I just wanted a few gold discs and bead caps. And then I have this gorgeous toggle set, but I'm using 2 of the open parts of this toggle set, a clasp trio called Sailor's Hitch toggle clasp. So it's odd because I'm only going to be using 2 of the open parts and 1 T-bar, and I'll show you why. That's the adjustable part of my necklace. And as I said, I'm going to be dotting the piece with gold. So this is just a sample of what I'm going to do with the nautical seed beads, just alternated with gold wire and gold seed beads. And I have this beautiful heart wrapped pendant. This is a set called Naughty and Nautical wrapped pendant set in tan, and I love the heart shape to kind of keep my theme going with my little heart that's on my chain. So that's going to be my final drop on my necklace. And then I also have this little sardine. It's in a collection called Let's Go Whaling, and he's got a little pave crystal. He's so cute. He's just perfect to add a little gold touch. And then these are gorgeous. This is a fabric bead set that's called Nautical Knot, and it's multicolor. There were a couple of different like rattan colors and white, and I just love it. I love it with well, I cannot hold on to these little guys, but I love it with the Sailor's Stripe. I love the mixed media of this, to go from silver to gold to fabric to almost a twine or nautical rope feeling. And then this glass, I really can't hold on to these little guys. They want to get away. And then I love adding in a little bit of a natural element. This is called Shucking Oysters Pendant Pair. There are 2 of them, but I'm just going to be using one, and it comes already with this beautiful little pearl peeking inside the shell. He's going to be so cute. And what else? I think that is everything going into my project. So I'm going to start out by doing what is always so hard for me, is cutting the bead strand. Jesse James Beads just does them so beautifully that sometimes it's hard to cut them, but you can't make anything until you cut those beads off the strand. So let's get these guys off the strand. So pretty. Oh, I love that bead. So I'm going to take one of those. I also want to take one of these flower sections and probably repeat it just the way that it was stacked on the bead strand. It's so pretty. So I'm going to set those aside, and maybe one of those, and I'll just put the rest of these in my little dish so I can look at them while I'm working. Okay, I am going to alter and embellish this chain. So this is right about at the 16-inch link. So I am going to snip this right here, and this is where I'm going to add in my first round section of my toggle. I'm going to set that aside, and this is where the very first section is going to go, and I'm going to do that with jump rings. So I'm going to take, as I said, I'm just going to dot my piece with gold. So since my chain is silver, I'm switching to gold jump rings and gold wire to make my components that I need to make. So I'm just going to add that right there on this side. And I'm going to take another jump ring and add this to the other side. I know it looks a little funny at this point, but have faith. This is going to be really fun, but adjustable necklace, and you know, kind of personalize a ready-made chain. It's already a beautiful chain with the little heart section and the beautiful round links, but I'm going to make it more personal and one of a kind. So that's the first section, and then I'm going to just pull out of the camera. If you're doing this for yourself, you can make your adjustability areas wherever you want them. So this one is right at about 16 inches, so it pulls this part behind the head, and it pulls this up pretty close, but I'm going to choose another spot. So this one's going to be right about here. I'm going to snip this one here and do that same thing. And so what I've created here is basically two different lengths necklace in the same piece, because the first clasp is going to be up a little bit closer to my neck, and that gives me a little bit more, not quite a choker style, because for me I don't like a real choker style, but I won't wear that much, but it's giving me a shorter closure and a longer one, so I can adjust how I wear this piece based on my top or my dress, what my neckline looks like. So I'm going to take my second ring, and at this interval, which for me, this is about 20 inches, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, and I want them to be going in the same direction. So 2 more jump rings, and I'm just going to repeat what I did on the first. Okay, now I'm going to come to this end, and this is where I'm going to embellish my chain and personalize it. So my toggle is going to go on, but also this little component, and I'll show you how I did this because I do want to make a couple more. And here's where I have to decide if I want all of my charms and dangles to be on the final drop of my necklace, or if I want to embellish some here. This part will be right at the front of the neck, because this will be a front closure necklace, whether it's closed on the shorter link or the longer one. And don't worry, you guys, I'll put some better pictures of some of the styling options up at the end of the video. But I think that it's going to be more comfortable to have this side of the necklace and more adjustable too for different necklines if I just do it really simply. So I'm going to take 2 more jump rings. I have a couple sizes in here because I was not sure. I knew I would need the larger one for here, and I think I'm just going to stick with the larger one. Decision made. These are all the little design decisions that we make along the way. It's really fun, and it makes everybody's pieces completely different, because what I decide to do might be completely different than what somebody else would decide to do. So I'm going to come right here and just add another jump ring and add this little component that I made, add the toggle. I really like alternating the gold and silver, and this piece will be heavier silver, but I really like alternating it, and one of the reasons that I did it is because I really love this little sardine fish, and I really want to hang him in my necklace. So I just wanted to add in a little bit of gold, and I think it makes the two metals really show up when you alternate them, and it's a big 2025 trend. So just to show you this toggle, this part goes around the neck, and then this can clasp in at the shorter spot, which would be at the front of the neck, or if I have a different neckline, I can clasp it down lower and it would give me a little bit longer necklace. And the ring does not look like a toggle. It looks like a large link in the chain. It's such a pretty design and so easy to accomplish this adjustability. So now from here, I absolutely want to start embellishing my chain. So let me start by making another one of these components so that I can show you how I did it, because I'm going to want to snip in a couple more areas and just add in this pretty embellishment. So I actually think that I want to make 2 more of these. I like to work in odd numbers in a piece. It's just pleasing to the eye. So I would have 1 here, and then I'll choose another spot maybe here and here for the other 2 that I'm going to make. So when I'm doing beaded chains, I really like my 1-step looper, and because of the scale of this chain, I'm going to use the 1.5 millimeter 1-step looper. It's the smallest of the 3 sizes that it's available in. Since I don't have any beads on this scrap of wire, I'm going to just put it past the back jaw rather than going through this guide hole that's in the tool, because the tool makes a cut right here. So if you don't have beads on, you're just wasting like 1/2 inch of wire. But as long as your wire is past that back jaw, can you see? When I close the tool, it makes a blunt, fresh cut for me. So, you know, wire workers always start with a fresh cut, but that you can skip that step with your cutters. And now I'm maintaining control here, and it makes that loop for me. But now I can see that my wire is not centered on the loop. So I'm just going to pull my wire down, and from here I can smooth, warm, straighten it. If I need to get my nylon jaw pliers in the act, I can do that. But now before I even open it, I can see that that wire is centered on that loop. And when I take it off, I have a perfect loop, and it's wonderful for making a beaded chain because all your loops are consistent. And for me, I save my hand from pain when I have to make, not that there's going to be a lot of chain on this one, but it really does save my hand because I make a lot of beaded chains. It's one of my favorite things to do in jewelry. So this little component was one of the blue striped seed beads, an 8/0 seed bead, another blue stripe, just alternating. And again, it's an odd number. I have 3 of the blue stripe and 2 of the gold. And now this time I will be using the guide hole in the tool. I'm just going to hold this loop so that it's in the same direction as the one I'm about to make. Now I'll put my wire through the guide hole in the tool, close the tool gently, maintaining control here. Let me change my grip. And now I want to just watch here to make sure that I have about 1 millimeter of space. See, that bead is moving. Again, it makes a nice cut for me. And now I'm not popping this tool closed really fast. Now I'm just going to close it. And I don't know if you can see, but you get really good loops if you try to keep your wire against this back plate of the tool. It gives you a much better loop than, say, if your wire flips out. If it's out here, you're not going to get a closed loop and sometimes even a misshapen loop. So take your time and make sure that you have pushed your wire against that back plate. And now you can finish closing. If you see that you're putting stress here, don't close it all the way. You finish with your pliers. I can see that I'm okay, but at the same time as I'm closing, I'm just going to pull that down. So once again, that loop is centered. Now I've become misaligned because of demonstration purposes, showing you what not to do, but it happens, you know, when you're making a lot of links. So you can take another pair of pliers and align your loops, and if your wire is not perfectly straight, but when you take it out, my demonstration of pulling it out kind of messed that one up a little bit, but for me it's okay because I like to work harden and just put my pliers to everything when I'm making a piece. So my hand is on every link, every wrap, and I quite love that. That's part of the joy for me of making jewelry. So that's how I did that little component, and I'm going to do the other one as well. Go ahead and have them ready for my stringing. And most of the time I just use scraps of wire for this. I'm going to go ahead and add these in, choose a spot to add these in. So on this piece, from this ring to here, most of this is behind the neck. I mean, this is the part of the necklace that goes behind the neck. So I'm going to pretty much be leaving this side of my necklace alone, and I'm going to be working here and down here for my final drop now for my embellishment. So I'm going to come right about in the middle and just make another cut. Now, when you have a simple loop component, you can totally open those simple loops and add those in, but I'm doing everything with jump rings for two reasons. Since I'm alternating my gold and silver, I want to have the gold jump ring just have that presence, but also connecting your links with jump rings adds a little bit more fluidity to your chain. It also adds a little bit more length. So it's a good trick if you have not enough chain for a piece that you want to do. You can really get extra length by adding in some little handmade components and, you know, attaching them with jump rings. That gives you a little bit, you know, you're adding a little bit of length, and it's amazing. Sometimes I'm doing that and I even get it too long because it's amazing how much length you can get with that little trick. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other end. I just love this modification of adding some handmade bead stations to a ready-made chain. It just becomes so artisan, and I just love it. It's one of my favorite things to do, and it's so simple, and really anybody could do it with basic jewelry tools. Let me grab some more jump rings. And I'm going to choose a spot for my third component and do the same thing. So on this one, I'm going to come down right about here and add this one right about here. Okay, that is so beautiful. And now I want to make some embellishments with these things. This little shell and this sardine are going to be kind of charms or dangles at the bottom of my necklace, and these and this I want to make little larger bead stations and add them in for my final drop. And on this one I want to wrap it as a chain. I want to wrap this chain right around this heart off to one side and connect my chain, and I can go ahead and do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut this link right here. And now I'm going to take another gold jump ring and create a little loop to contain my wrapped heart. So I'm going to add this to one side and get my heart in there and bring this around and get that on the jump ring too. So I just made a little chain link. So my jump ring is still open, and now I'm going to put it back on the bottom of my chain here. Okay, so I have this beautiful floating heart, and it's connected by a chain, and I have a little bit of gold presence there. So pretty. So that's my final drop on my piece. We can set this aside now. And now I'm going to work with these guys and some spacer beads and get more of that 20 gauge wire. And another simple loop on one end, because this is going to be another bead station, just a larger one. Or several bead stations actually. I'm thinking I might do at least two. So let's see, I'm going to, let me lay them out. There we go. Put on my crochet Nautical fabric bead, and I'm going to repeat that same kind of embellishment on the other side. Get another star spacer bead and another seed bead, and let's see how this looks all by itself without. Oh, that bead is so pretty, and I love the gold wire going through the middle. Oh, I just love that. Let me see how I feel about a bead cap here. Okay, look at this beautiful component. I just love it. I have a little silver peeking underneath the gold. Just a nice little mix of gold and silver. And that is going to go right here. So I'm going to get another simple loop in here. Just get a hold of it, come back with my tool, and use the guide hole and push everything down. I'll gently close it so I can make sure that I'm in here properly. Let the tool make that cut for me. And I'm just going to close it gently. I'm watching here, pull that down so everything is centered. And that is beautiful. Just want to tidy up my loop and work harden it a little bit. And I love that. What a gorgeous component. Oh my goodness. Okay. Going to add that one in right here. I'm going to leave 2 links and snip right there and do the same thing. Whoops, you can't open a jump ring with cutters. Going to do the same thing we've been doing, just add this station into my chain with a jump ring. This is so much fun, you guys. I mean, this is just, you can do this with your heart. It does not have to be very scientific. You can just play with your bead patterns. And with Jesse James beads, when you get a bead mix or a bead strand from them, it's also well thought out that your part of just having fun with your bead patterns is just pure joy. Look at that. That is gorgeous. I love this. I really love it. I'm not even finished, and I love it. So I'm going to do another, a white one, and I'm adding in the white because I really want to attach my seashell and my sardine to have a little bit of dangle on my final drop on my necklace, and I just felt like for balance it needed a white bead. And I'm thinking that I'm also going to use this little stack from the strand. Doesn't this look like something you would see in a coral reef? That is so cool. I just love the little stack. Even this is almost like a little ocean, like something you'd see in a coral reef, just the spiky things that you find down there. It's been a long, long time since I was a scuba diver, but I used to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat the same thing with my loops and create another bead stack. I love to just play with my beads to make pretty components like that. That is gorgeous. Okay, same thing, just get a simple loop in this component. Look at that. That is so gorgeous. I'm just going to align my loops. They're pretty good. I like to align my loops. That is so gorgeous. Okay, I just had to make a design decision about connecting my last piece. My length is so good when I connect on the adjustable longer side. This is like perfect for a maxi dress or tunic tops. And when I connect on the shorter, it pulls it up a little bit. So I don't want to add too much more length, but I really want this white sphere in here. So I'm going to open this jump ring again, and I'm going to add these two components together without adding any more chain. and having any more chain in between. So I'm just going to add it right on there like that. It makes a beautiful statement. That's what I took a pause to look at that, and it makes a beautiful statement for the final drop on the necklace, and all of my color story appears at the final drop. Kind of the natural driftwood color, the blue, the silver, the gold, the this kind of woven rope look. It all is like kind of culminates at the bottom of the necklace, and I really love it. Yeah, I love that. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh, I just love it. Now, I was toying with the idea of actually hanging my seashell right here so that at the bottom of the necklace, the shell is hanging in the heart. Kind of a metaphorical, like I love the ocean, and I really like that. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just have it kind of right on top. And this has a really nice simple loop in here. It's done really well. It's hard to even find where it closes and opens. So I'm just going to gently open that simple loop, and I'm going to attach it to right into the ring or the link in the chain so that it doesn't fall down inside the heart, if that makes sense. And you know, I like to kind of try my pieces either on myself or on my mannequin, and if I don't like the way that something is hanging, I am, you know, no stranger to opening up a loop again. But oh, I do love the way that's hanging. Look at that. It's like a metaphorical, I love the ocean, and you get even a little bit of a jingle. I love that. And the last thing we have to do is figure out where the little sardine is going to go. And I am thinking that I want to hang him beneath my second adjustment. So I'm going to take another jump ring. In fact, I will go to one of my smaller ones because I just want him to dangle. So I'm going to open one of these 4mm jump rings and hang my little sardine fish. So there's just a little kind of a charm on my necklace. He's so cute. And I'm going to put him right on this jump ring. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh my goodness, you guys, I can't wait to get to the beach this season. And I absolutely love making my own resort wear. And I love putting a necklace like this in my bag because I don't have to worry about it. It's something that I made. It didn't take me too long to make it. But if, you know, especially if I go stay at a little hotel on the beach, I'll throw on my swimsuit cover up and go get a drink, or, you know, go for lunch, or sometimes even go into one of the at the beaches here. They have a lot of artisan things at the gift shops, and sometimes I'll just take a break from the sun, surf and sand, and go shopping. So it's so nice to have your own little design to pop over your head and kind of dress up your casual wear. I just love this. For me, I'm probably always going to wear it, or most of the time wear it on the lower adjustment, just because I really like the drama of it. I love the drama of the long necklace. So I will put some pictures up at the end. Don't forget to open the description box by tapping more under the video. Depending on the device that you're watching on, sometimes you have to type more a second time to see the whole box, but links will be there. And I thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody's safe and well and having fun on your beading mats. Ciao, friends.